Hello dear students, let us see the next theory topic. It is the principle of superposition. Now this is useful for determining the resultant force acting on a single charge due to presence of other charges. We have studied the Coulomb's law and it is useful to determine the force acting between two charges. Actually this Coulomb's law or this Coulombian force is only useful to determine the force between the two charges. So now let us see the principle of superposition. As you can see the statement, when more than one Coulombian forces are acting on a charge due to the number of other charges, then the resultant force acting on that charge is equal to the vector sum of the individual forces acting on that charge. So here when more than two charges are there and you want to determine the force acting on a single charge, then you can apply this principle of superposition. So thus Coulombian force, we remember, acting between the two charges is not be affected by the presence of third charge. To obtain the resultant force acting on a single charge, we consider at present the system of three charges. Charges Q1, charge Q2, charge Q3, this is origin. So with respect to origin, we have their respective position vectors R1, position vector R2, position vector R3. And we want to determine the resultant force acting on charge Q1 due to the charge Q2 and Q3. So how will you find? So here you can see that the force acting on the charge Q1 due to Q2, both these three charges are positive charges, so naturally it is a repulsive force. So you join the charges Q1 and Q2. This line, we remember, is giving the position vector of a charge Q1 with respect to Q2. So it is directed by the vector R12 and the force acting on Q1 by Q2. So it is repulsive force, and as it is acting on Q1 by Q2, it is denoted by the symbol of vector F12, and this vector F12 is in the direction of vector R12, so it is positive force. And as it is positive force, so you can see that the force acting on the charge Q1 due to the charge Q2 is given by F12 is K Q1 Q2 upon R12 square into unit vector R12. At the same time, the force acting on this charge Q1 by Q3. So by joining here Q3 with Q1, so you can see that arrow is in the direction from Q3 to Q1. So it is a position vector of charge Q1 with respect to Q3. So it is denoted by symbol vector R13. And R13 is directed from Q3 to Q1. Again, the force acting on Q1 by Q3, it is repulsive force. So this force is going in this direction of vector R13. So again it is positive. So this force acting on charge Q1 by Q3 is vector F13 is also be given by K Q1 Q3 upon R13 square into unit vector R13. Where what is R12 and R13? R12 is simply distance between charge Q1 and Q2. R13 is simply distance between charge Q1 and Q3. Whereas unit vector R12 and unit vector R13 are in the direction of vector R12 and vector R13. So these are the forces F12, F13. By the method of parallelogram, you can see in the diagram the resultant force will be vector F1 is the force acting on charge Q1. So resultant force acting on Q1 due to the charges Q2 and Q3 according to superposition principle is the vector sum of F12 and F13. So F1 is equal to what? Vector F12 plus vector F13. And substituting their values, we can write vector F1 equal to K, but instead of K, we can write 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. So it is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R12 square into unit vector R12 plus Q1 Q3 upon R13 square into unit vector R13. So this is the equation of resultant force acting on charge Q1 due to presence of Q2 and Q3. But in general, if you have more than 3 charges, so if there is a system made up of n charges, so in general, for a system of n charges like Q1, Q2, Q3, Qn, the force acting on charge Q1 due to all other charges is given by, again, the vector sum of F12, F13, F14, vector Fn. So equation according to superposition principle is vector F1 equal to vector F12 plus vector F13 plus vector F1n. And then getting their sum, you can write this vector F1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. So vector F1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. Again substituting these values for F12 Q1 Q2 upon R12 square into unit vector R12 plus for F13 Q1 Q3 upon R13 square into unit vector R13 plus vector F1n is Q1 Qn upon R1 square 1n square into unit vector R1n. So F1 is equal to what? You can see from all these equations Q1 is common and it come outside 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. Instead of this one, you can use the mathematics sigma summation of the terms like Qi upon R1i square into unit vector R1i, where I is what? Start from 2 to n. So as it is the force acting on charge Q1, so ones will not come. That's why vector F1 is equal to this one. So here, what is the meaning of this one? The vector sum is obtained as usual by the law of parallelogram of addition of vectors. So this is the topic of principle of superposition. Now let us see the example 1.4 given in your textbook. So here you open the textbook and read it. What we have to find? We have to find two things. Number one, compare the strength of these two forces. One force is electric force, another is gravitational force. By determining the magnitudes of the ratio of their magnitudes, number one, for an electron and proton, and number two for two protons. So solution of part A for one. The electric force between electron and proton at any distance r. As proton and electron are opposite charges, so it is a attractive force. So one having positive charge, another having negative charge, that's why negative sign comes here. And Fa is equal to what? Minus k square upon r square. It is equation 1. But gravitational force due to their masses is Fg equal to G mp me upon r square. It is equation number 2. We have to determine the ratio of the magnitude of these two forces. So Fe upon Fg, denominator r square cancel, and negative sign is also be cancelled. So k square upon G mp me upon G into mp into me. Substituting the values. K is 9 into 10 raised to 9, charge of electron 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 square. G value 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. Mass of proton 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 27. Mass of electron 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31. Substituting all and simplifying. Answer is 2.4 into 10 raised to 39. We remember in this March 2020 exam, this has been asked as a MCQ. What was the question? Question is like this one. The ratio of the magnitudes of electric force and gravitational force between electron and proton. And it is how much? This one. Similarly, now here we solve the second part of A. Instead of electron and proton, two protons are there. Then again, the same kind of two equations will come. But instead of mp and me, there will be mp because there are the two protons. So like this again, taking the ratio. the ratio of the magnitude of electric and gravitational force between two protons only is given by F magnitude of F upon Fg equal to k square upon g mp into mp. Here instead of mp into me, there will be mp because there are two protons. Substituting all these values for k 9 into 10 raised to 9 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, charge of electron proton being same. In denominator, value of capital G, value of mass of proton 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 27. The answer is 1.3 into 10 raised to 36. So here again, MCQ can be asked. So what will be the form of the MCQ? The ratio of the magnitudes of electric and magnetic force between two protons is dash. So how much answer? Answer is 1.3 into 10 raised to 36. Then in the B part of this numerical. Now in this B part, we have to estimate the acceleration of electron and proton. Due to what? Due to only electric force of their mutual attraction. But when they are at a distance is given, is 1 angstrom, and 1 angstrom is 10 raised to minus 10 meter. So what is the equation? So as we have seen equation earlier, the magnitudes of the force of attraction between electron and proton is given by k square upon r square. Because charge of proton and charge of electron being same, there is no change in value of the charge being same, so k square upon r square. Putting this value 9 into 10 raised to 9, charge of electron, distance r is 10 raised to minus 10 square, and simplify, you will get the answer is 2.3 into 10 raised to minus 10 Newton. But we are interested in calculating acceleration. The acceleration for, we consider the equation force equal to mass into acceleration. Using this, for electron we put the mass of electron, for proton we put the mass of proton. So here there are two separate calculations. The acceleration of electron A equal to magnitude of Fe upon me, substituting values 2.3 into 10 raised to minus 8 upon 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31. The answer is 2.5 into 10 raised to 11 meter per second. Similarly, the acceleration of proton. So here, acceleration of electron is this much, magnitude of Fe upon me into 2 equal to 2.3 into 10 raised to minus 8 upon 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31, E equal to 2.5 to 10 raised to 11. And acceleration of proton is AP equal to Fe upon mp. Substituting these two values, answer is 1.4 into 10 raised to 90. So for proton, acceleration is 1.4 into 10 raised to 19 meter per second square. Okay, finish.